Alright, hi everyone. Here's just a quick tutorial on how to use your brand new After the Beep audio guest book here. So what you'll see in the box after you get it, you'll have a phone and you'll have handset and a box of accessories including the battery. Okay, so that's what we're going to be covering today, and we're just going to be going over the basics of the phone and how to navigate through the different modes that it has, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is just kind of do a little overview of the phone here. So you have the body and you have the handset. Depending on the model you have, you'll either connect the handset on the back, on the side, and sometimes underneath the phone. In this case, it's in the back. Okay. In case you haven't used one of these phones before, this piece here, away from the cable, is the speaker. This is where you're going to hear everything. And the one near the cable here is the microphone. This is the side that you speak into to record the messages. Okay, I'm gonna just disconnect this by pushing down on this little tab, squeezing it, and just pulling it right out. Okay, it's just that easy. So, underneath the phone, you have a few switches here, a compartment, and a couple of inputs here. So, starting with the inputs, you'll see one of them is a USB Type-C. On this phone, it's on the back of it. Again, sometimes it's underneath it. This is only used for charging the battery while it's inside of the phone. You can also power the phone through like a wall plug through here as long as the battery is in there. But for the most part, you'll probably just use this to charge the battery if you like to. This port is not going to be used by you. This is just for me to do programming without having to take the phone apart again. So don't worry about too much about that one. It can be used to access the files from the SD card, but it's pretty unstable. So I don't recommend doing that. Okay, so next you have the switches here, a diagram, and then the battery compartment. So starting with the battery compartment, to open the hatch here, you just kind of pull this clip in, and you'll see it just kind of comes out just like that. So put that aside for now. Then in here, you have a place for the battery to go. You have a battery hookup here, and then you have the SD card right here, micro SD. So to get the micro SD out, you actually push it in, and you'll hear a little click and release, and you see how it kind of came out there. Same thing with putting it in. Once it's in there, you push till it clicks, and then it locks in. See how it sits a little bit further in? Okay, so pulling out, you kind of gotta squeeze your fingers in, especially if you have big fingers like I do. Otherwise, it should be not too difficult for you. But again, here, put it back in like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and run through using the phone for one of your events and going through the different modes here. So what we're first going to do is hook up the battery. So the battery does not come pre-installed. It'll be inside your accessory box, but it's just a simple battery here. It should be good for anywhere from 12 hours plus. So you should be good for any events that this could be used for, but then you also have some charging options anyway. So you'll notice on the connector here, one side has a little line, and the other side doesn't. And it's not really focusing, but you kind of get the point here. You can see one side has a little raised notch. So when you're putting it into the phone, you want that raised notch to be facing towards you, up away from the inside of the phone, okay? So you're just gonna kind of put it in here, line it up with the connector, like so, and you're just gonna push it in. That's all it is. And then just kind of feed the wire through this little slot opening here, and kind of should fit nice and cozy right there. It's not gonna be a tight squeeze or anything like that, but it would fit there enough to hold it secure enough until the door gets put back on. If you had purchased the Tower model phone, the battery will not sit this way. It will sit vertically. You see it just slides down into an open slot there. It's a little different. The rest of the phones are just like this one. All right, so I'll put it back on. Just first put this side in here, then there, and push down until it snaps. And there you go. Okay. So now let's run through the different switches underneath. So I'm gonna hook up the handset again. It's gonna be a little hard to hear, but everything we go through, you'll be hearing feedback noises or tones, I should say, from the earpiece to let you know kind of what's going on. So let's start first with an overview of the switches. Okay, always to the left as you're facing it is the power on and off switch. Pretty straightforward. Up is power on, down is power off. Right now the power is off. The second switch changes between the record mode, which is up, where the switch is right now, and playback mode, which is down, where it sits right now. Okay, when it's in record mode, when you pick up the phone, it's going to play the greeting and it's going to record messages. When it's down and you pick up the phone, it's going to play the greeting still, and then it's going to play back all the messages that are on the phone. Okay, so when you're doing a greeting, you want to make sure that this is up. If this is down in the playback position, it's not going to record new messages. It's only going to try to play back anything that's saved on the SD card. Okay, so we'll stop there. We'll go ahead, we'll power the phone on, and you can kind of hear what happens here. Okay, so I'm going to power it on just by flipping the switch. And after a few seconds, you'll see the lights flash and you'll hear a tone. Okay, there you go. The green light is on. You heard some tones and you saw the flashing lights. If all three lights start flashing, that means that there's no SD card or there's a problem with the SD card. Okay, so this green light tells you that the phone is powered on, and this green light is actually controlled by this switch here. There's 3 different modes you can have. When it's up, the green light will be on as long as the phone is powered on. Okay, if it's in the middle, it's just going to be off. It's not going to do anything. When it's down, the light is going to be off when the phone is hung up, when the switch is pushed down. When you pick up the phone, it's going to turn on. And then as it starts recording, it'll flash. When you hang up, it'll flash and then turn off again. So that gives you a little more feedback on what the phone is doing if you prefer that mode. Okay, so we're at an event. These are the settings that we're going to have here. Okay, switch 1 is up, powering on the phone. Switch 2 is up, indicating it's in record mode. Switch 3 is down. We're going to get to that later. And this LED switch, I want to have it on my flash setting there. Okay, so what we're going to do is just record a quick message, and then I'm going to show you how to play it back so you can hear it. So in this case, it's in the setting that you want for your event. So say that I'm a guest at the party. I'm going to pick up the phone. Just imagine it's sitting there and I'm picking it up here. I'm just going to control it so you can kind of see the lights. Pick it up and it's playing the greeting right now.
Hello. Thank you for calling the audio guest book. Please leave your name and message after the tone. Then hang up the phone to save.
Okay, now record my message. Hi, thanks so much for inviting me to your wedding. Hope you guys have a great night, and I wish you the best in the future. Okay, so as I hang up, you see that the LED light was flashing quickly, showing that the recording is closed. And now that the phone is hung up, the light is off. So what I'm gonna do is actually switch it back now to playback mode. You'll see what the light does, and then what you'll hear is the greeting playback, and then you're gonna hear my message played back to me. Okay, so if you can hear it right now, it's playing the greeting first.
Audio guest book. Please leave your name and message after the tone. Then hang up the phone to save your message. Thank you.
Thanks so much for inviting me to your wedding. Hope you guys have a great night, and I wish you the best in the future.
Okay, so play back my message, including the beeps from my desk in the background, and then you saw that the LED light flashed when the messages stopped playing. So that's how you play back your messages. So again, when you're at the event, you want to make sure that this is in recording mode here. That's going to ensure that your messages are getting recorded and that all your guests' messages are kept on the phone. Okay, so the next one we're going to go cover here is this switch here, switch number 3, the greeting mode. So by default, this should be in the down position. You'll know if it's turned on because the yellow light here will be lit up. Now, regardless of what mode you have this green light switched into, if this mode is on, it's going to overwrite that. This greeting mode kind of takes over the phone. So that's to just make sure that when you're using this, you know what's going on here. So When greeting mode is on, what this mode does is it lets you create a new greeting right on the phone without having to load any files or do any kind of conversions or anything like that. It's just one of two options that you have. You can either do it this way, or you record it externally and load it on the phone either through the software or directly to the SD card. So when the yellow light is on, you pick up the phone, and what it's going to do is play a tone and give you some instructions, including playing your current greeting. So I'm going to pick up the phone now, and what's going to do is tell me, here's your current greeting, play the greeting, and then it's going to tell you what the next step is in case I want to record a new greeting.
Here is your current greeting. Hello. Thank you for calling the audio
Okay, so if you can't hear that right now, it's playing my current greeting,
after the tone. Then hang up the phone.
and once that's done, it's going to give you the next steps.
Thank you. To exit greeting mode, set the greeting mode switch under the phone to off. To record a new greeting, press and hold the greeting record.
Okay, so it's saying if I want to exit the greeting mode, turn the switch to the down position and hang up the phone. If I want to record a new greeting, I need to push and hold this small round button here. So that's what we're going to do now, and we're going to record ourselves a new greeting. And what you're going to see is when I push this, the red LED lights up. And you see if I let go, it'll exit that automatically. What this button does is it actually activates the recording for the greeting. Now, when you push it, it doesn't start recording right away. It gives you a nice little warning, some instructions on what to do. So you're going to push and hold it down, wait for the tone, record your new greeting, and then you're going to let go. And then what it does is it goes back to the original greeting mode message where it plays your current greeting, which will be the one that we just recorded, and then continue on with the instructions. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to push and hold this and record our new greeting.
You will begin recording your new greeting after the tone. Continue holding the button while recording and release it once you are finished. Saved.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for coming to our wedding. We can't come to the phone right now, so please leave a message and we'll get back to you. Thank you. So you see, the red light flashed, indicating that it's been saved. And now it's going to play back my message.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for coming to our wedding. We can't come to the phone right now, so please leave a message.
Okay, so now we have a brand new greeting on our phone. So I'm going to switch this back to off here. See the green light turned back on, and I'm in record mode. So when I pick up the phone now at an event, it's going to ring, and then it's going to play my new greeting. Okay? And that's the basics of it. So when you're done with your event, you just flip this to off. There you go, phone's off. Remove the door. Charge the battery again for the next event. Remove the SD card, take your files off, and send them to your client however you choose to do so. You can send them through Google Drive, through USB drive. Some have used vinyl records, anything you really want. You can save it to CDs even. We even had someone use 8-track tapes before, which is kind of cool. So it's up to you, whatever you would like to do for your event or for your clients. It's kind of open. So that is the overview of the phone. If you have any questions, of course, you can always feel free to reach out to me or consult the instructions. And that's it. Thanks everyone for your purchase, and thanks for watching.